A cartoon is sparking resignations tonight. Many have found the image offensive.
This is the cartoon appearing in today's Missourian in Franklin County. It shows what appears to be a black man wearing a mask and a hoodie taking a purse from a white woman who's yelling for someone to call 911. News 4's Russell Kinsall is in Washington tonight reporting on the growing fallout surrounding the publication.
Right now, a small number of protesters are outside the newspaper, and the doors have been locked most of the day because of the number of people who've been coming there to complain. It's a family-owned company, and the daughters that run the business are putting the blame squarely on their father, who's the editor and publisher, for the decision to run the cartoon.
It was irresponsible. It was an irresponsible perpetuation of racism.
Alexandria Gray is one of the organizers of recent protests for racial justice in Franklin County. She and many others were outraged by the Missourians' decision to run a syndicated cartoon that depicts a masked black man robbing a white woman who's asking for someone to call 911. The robber responds, "Good luck with that, lady. We defunded the police."
And it's quite sad that this is the only print publication in the Franklin County area, and they have chosen to use this platform to fearmonger.
I reached out to the cartoonist Tom Stiglitz, and he sent a statement saying, in part, first and foremost, may George Floyd rest in peace. That cartoon was based solely on violent crime numbers here in the U.S. To ignore that would be doing a disservice to the reader. One of the comments from a reader described the cartoon as playing on a racist stereotype of a black man attacking a white woman that's been used for years to fearmonger.
No, Bill, do not walk away. Why would you post something like that? Why would you let that go to print?
Brandon Marler was so upset, he went to confront the newspaper's editor and publisher, Bill Miller Sr.
An apology would have been great, but at least if he could have came back with something, but he just had nothing to say at that time.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
The publisher's daughters, who operate the business, Jean Miller Wood and Susan Miller Warden, issued an apology. On behalf of all our employees at the Missourian, we are sorry and disgusted for the editorial cartoon that appears in the Wednesday, June 10 edition of the Missourian. This does not represent the views of the Missourian staff. Adrian Wallace is calling for community action.
I am going to be calling for a boycott of any businesses that choose to still advertise until he steps down.
Later, the daughters announced they were resigning from the business, and their father followed up with his own apology. It says, I ran a nationally syndicated editorial cartoon in the June 10 edition of the Missourian that was racially insensitive. It was poor judgment on my part, and for that, I sincerely apologize. The publisher's daughters have even marched in some of the protests here in Franklin County recently, and the business just might become more of a focus of the next protest planned for Saturday evening. In Washington, Russell Kinsall, News 4.